Okay, now we're going to go over some question and answer prompts, but the questions that I'm going to ask are going to be a little bit different. So I want to solve some of my personal problems. For example, my dad got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer about a year ago, and I was trying to find a solution for my dad. I wanted to help him get better. So I went ahead and first of all, I went to ChatGPT. This is what I really did a year ago. I went to ChatGPT and I entered what is the percentage of people who survive pancreatic cancer. And then I saw that the survival rate is pretty low. It's typically, it says 10 to 15%. Okay, so I never like to think of myself as a quitter, and I want my dad to live as long as possible or even get cured. And I don't want to think like that there's no way out. So I want to try to find solutions. So let's find out what these 10 to 15% of the people who actually survived did. So let's ask ChatGPT. What did the 10% that survived do to get better? So then I found this. I found that the people who were able to survive did it through a combination of treatments and medical interventions, as it says here. So number one, it says early detection. My dad's cancer was pretty big. It was like 2 or 3 inches long and wide. And then it says surgery. Surgical removal of the tumor is common treatment to treat cancer. Chemotherapy. My dad is doing chemotherapy and has been doing for a while, but it hasn't had any positive effect yet. And then radiation therapy. They started doing radiation therapy, and that's where they actually saw an improvement. But now the cancer has actually spread to his lungs. So they're doing another form of chemotherapy, which is less intense. So there's less side effects, but it's still pretty strong and it weakens him. He tells me sometimes that he's tired, and so let's keep going. Targeted therapy, clinical trials, supportive care. And I'm a firm believer that it doesn't have to be for everybody, but I'm a firm believer that your environment, including the nutrition you have and the food that you have available, makes a big difference when it comes to cancer. So let's go ahead and enter what kinds of foods would benefit someone with pancreatic cancer to get better or even get cured. High calorie, high protein foods, healthy weight, and preventing malnutrition is important. Okay. Fruits and vegetables. A variety of fruits and vegetables can provide essential vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Whole grains, such as brown rice, whole wheat, and whole grain bread. That makes a lot of sense because then your stomach works less. So then it's much easier for you to get your blood to flow to other parts of the body that need to heal. Healthy fats. This may include avocados, nuts, seeds, and olive oil. I was able to get my dad to eat a lot more fruits and vegetables. And besides that, there's something that's very useful. I just want to mention it. So fruits and vegetables are very important, but I know that while you're in chemotherapy, they don't let you have any acidic foods because there's a lot of acid in the stomach, in your stomach. But a lot of the acidic foods like lemon, orange, and grapefruit are extremely good for healing. And there's been a lot of studies that have come out with intravenous vitamin C dose in hyperdoses that have gone to reduce the size of cancers or even kill cancers. But that's not something I'm saying happens. It's just I've heard other people have been able to get cured with that. And I tried to get my dad to do that, but his doctors told him not to because it was going to go against the chemotherapy treatment. But it was still an option. Maybe in the future, if the chemo doesn't work, maybe my dad will become a little bit more open to that idea because there's not just one way to skin a cat, and I believe it's the same thing when it comes to healing. Let's continue. It says hydration, liquids are very important. Small, frequent meals. Avoid trigger foods. And I think a lot of people know what this is, as it says over here: spicy foods, caffeine, very fatty or fried foods. I've also heard that sugar is feeds cancer, but that's obviously an opinion as well. There's no scientific data to confirm that, but you can test different things to actually see what works better and what reduces the size of the cancer and what's actually increasing the size of the cancer. As you can see, this is a question and answer format that I'm doing with ChatGPT to be able to find solutions for my dad, which you can do in your own life. So this doesn't have to be just for me. This can be used for many different reasons, many different situations. In this case, this is the reason why I use ChatGPT when it came to solving my dad's problems, because my dad's problems are my problem as well, because I want my dad to get better and heal faster. And I'm sure that a lot of people are affected by either personally having cancer or they know somebody that has cancer. So finding a solution is important. And some of these chatbots, like the AI that ChatGPT comes with, may have some alternatives that you might not have thought of, and maybe doctors didn't mention because they just go through the standard sequence of offering chemotherapy and other treatments and might not consider some of these things. So this was very important. And then the last question I asked ChatGPT was about the environment. What environment is ideal to heal from cancer? This general question. Okay. Healing from cancer involves several factors, including physical, emotional, and social aspects. And then here are some considerations to take into account. Medical care, top quality medical care. I know a lot of people around the world travel to the US or other places where they know they're going to get very high quality medical care, so that makes sense. A supportive network, which means friends, family that tell you that you're going to get better, and they just don't assume that you're going to die. You want people that are actually there, that want you to stay alive, so they keep you going, and they try to find things to help you want to stay alive so that you keep finding solutions. Besides that, a positive mindset. And this is something that becomes very difficult when you have cancer or you know somebody that has cancer, because I see it in my dad. A lot of people, they tell him, sometimes that since he's only got a few months to live, what does he want to do? But I tell my dad to stay alive so that he can see his grandkids grow up and do other things that he won't be able to do if he's not alive. So I want him to see their successes. I want my dad to see everybody's happy and growing. So I focus on doing that for my dad. A little bit further down where it says nutrition, it's very important, as we just saw a minute ago. Exercise all over the world in different areas that have a low index of cancer say that a lot of people who walk a lot and are outdoors getting exercise have a much lower chance of getting cancer and have a much better chance of reducing or even eliminating cancer, simply because they are not physically staying still. Stress management. Stress can be a major determinant. If somebody's dealing with cancer and then they have financial problems, family problems, and stuff like that, that definitely doesn't help, because your body doesn't have time to focus on the cancer if you're always focusing on being anxious and stressed out. So techniques like meditation and mindfulness and relaxation exercises, I think, go a long way, and I definitely recommend that. Quality sleep. I've seen and heard this many times, different TED Talks, different conversations with different people who are experts with sleep. They all say that your body heals when you sleep. So I would say that it's important to have a combination of nutrition that's balanced, but also not eat very heavy at night so you get better night sleep. Doing exercise and being outside tires you out, so that when you go to sleep at night, you get a deeper sleep, which means you get higher quality sleep as well most of the time. So those go all hand in hand. And also stress. When you're less stressed, it's much easier to sleep and allow your body to heal during that time. Now, where it says safe and comfortable environment, yes, if you live under electrical towers, I would say it might be a good idea to move away from that. If maybe the quality of the water you're drinking is bad, try buying bottled water if you need it, or buy a filter or something similar to that. Complementary therapies and open communication. Financial support, when a lot of times cancer can be very expensive and treating it can be extremely expensive. So having financial support or some type of insurance that will cover those costs would be very helpful. And then education, simply understanding what your condition is. And then lastly, counseling and support groups. Sometimes you don't have people that might help you when it comes to mental health support. So finding somebody that will counsel you and participate in cancer support groups is very important. See, as you can see, ChatGPT gave us a lot of valuable and important information. Somebody that might be with health problems can go into ChatGPT, and by finding and searching solutions by asking these questions, you feel a little bit more at peace and at calm, because there's options. So this is very important, and this I would say was very helpful a year ago for me when I was trying to find solutions, and all I did was ask ChatGPT. So using the question and answer format can go a long way for different situations, financial, economic, and health-wise, besides work and other things that you can obviously think of. But I found this especially helpful, and I highly suggest it to other people.